How are we feeling? Kentucky, West Virginia, Ohio. All right. I realized when I said Kentucky, I walked out and these people up here went, oh. So I was like, all right, I'll say the other ones, I guess. Sorry, dude. Oh man, hey, how many of y'all? Anybody see? I was here like 5 years ago. Anybody here for those shows back then? Nice, David Crowder in the back. Okay. How many of y'all? This is our first time hanging out. You have no idea who I am. We're just here because we're all on the radio. Cool. All right, we're gonna become friends. What is this? It's Baptist situation going on in the middle. Y'all showed up, and you're like, we're gonna try to find way back here, all right? This ain't Netflix, I got eyes, okay? I can see everybody in here, dude. Like, it's not like we're gonna, I don't know where we're at right now. It's good to be here, man. All right, well, I introduced myself then. We don't know each other. My name is Jaron. I'm 31 years old. I'm originally from Kansas City, Missouri. And last time I did these shows a couple years ago, I had a girlfriend. I do not have a girlfriend anymore. I have a wife. And so I got married just last year, pretty recently. So we're having a good time. Thanks. No, sometimes people do that. No, hey, don't do it now. That's pandering, all right? No, I did get married, man. And I didn't have a choice. It's not like I could, you can't break up with a girl who watches those true crime documentaries. There's a lot of white ladies here, dude. All right, y'all watch the documentaries. You listen to podcasts. Like you watch the podcast or listen to the podcast. She's taking notes. My wife. We're watching a movie a couple weeks ago, and she goes, "I think they put the body in the river." And I was like, "That doesn't make sense. It would float, right?" Yeah. She goes, "Not if you puncture the lungs." I don't like that you know that, all right? We're locked in. You can't break up with someone who's learning how to hide your body, all right? We're in this thing, dude. And I wouldn't want to break up with her. I don't want it to sound like I'm in this against my will. I love her, all right? I love my wife. I love her. I love her. She's compassionate, she's joyful, she's kind, she's hilarious. I love her a lot. She's amazing. And she's so much prettier than I am. Which is all. I'm looking around the room right now. Fellas, you did it. Good for you guys, okay? Fellas, how many here you have a lady who's prettier than you? See how stupid some of these dudes were just then? Yo, I set you up for that, all right? All you had to do was go, woo, right? You would have got made out with tonight. You know what I'm saying? Sorry, I don't know what kind of Christians you are. Strong eye contact tonight, all right? That could have been you, man. All right, golly, dude. She is prettier than me. And I'm not dogging on myself. I don't think I'm a bad-looking dude. I'm aware of... You know when you see a couple in public and you know they don't belong together? I love that all of you were super honest, right? Because you guys were like, yeah, right? Some people in here were like... Y'all were like, yeah, you know exactly what I'm talking about. Some of these people were like, we would never judge people like that. I feel it, dude. We'll walk into a restaurant, I'll feel the whole room be like, that girl's being followed by her Uber driver. Shoot, guys, I'm sorry. Uber is a thing in, I'm joking. You'll find out about it when you get internet. Okay, so... No, I don't care. I got paid. Who gives a crap, man? Loosen up a little bit, y'all. We're here. We're having a good time. I know we're in a building that's 100 years old, but that doesn't mean you gotta act like you're 100. Come on, man. Looking around, I don't know what they told me they can open this up. I don't want to know what they're hiding up there. I roll up to this place. I do a lot of church shows, man. Churches are either this, that have been here for 100 years, or they're like the old T-Mobile in the strip mall. You know what I'm talking about? That's all that churches are these days, dude. I was excited. I love stained glass windows. They're like, we gotta modernize it a little bit, though. You know, let's close off the upstairs, the media booth now. That's gonna modernize. Let's put these like cool little Einstein bulbs They were on sale at IKEA. Let's put them on the thing. And then let's put the drummer in an aquarium. That'll bring it into 2025, dude. That's crazy, man. Oh, man. My wife is braver than I am. We had a conversation. You know, had a conversation with your spouse where you find out that they think something about you that you didn't want them to think about you. You know what I'm talking about? Have you guys had the conversation about what would happen if someone broke into your home? What am I talking about? I know where I am. You guys fantasize about it, dude. Y'all like, I hope someone. You hear a noise in the night, you run down the stairs in your underwear, right? With your shotgun, like, who's there? Wrong house, right? And that's the wife, and so it's like, what am I talking about, dude? My wife and I, we were talking about what would happen if someone broke into our home, and she goes, well, obviously you'd hide. I was like, hey, don't say obviously, okay? Like, she's not wrong, but I don't like it she's saying it. Like, you know what I'm talking about? I want her to at least pretend. I don't know if you can tell by looking at me, I'm not a fighter. I'm not a big, I heard that. That was so personal. I did stop a robbery 2 weeks ago. This is real. 2 weeks ago, I stopped a robbery. I was looking out the window at a restaurant, and someone was looking in the window of my rental car. And I did a big brave man thing, right? As I ran up the car, I said, hey man, can I help you? Like, that was up there, you know what I'm talking about? Like, on the outside, I was like, hey. But like, up here, I was like, hey. And so, I said, can I help you? And he goes, can I help you? And I was like, yeah, dude, that's my car. He goes, buddy, this is my car. He was right. I don't know what the guy, he's looking at his kids in the back seat, you know what I'm talking about? Like, I'm dumb is what I'm saying. I'm not a smart person. So it's probably, my wife is like the keeper of our home, man. She's like got a plan, she says. She thinks, I don't know, my wife's brave, and she loves, her favorite holiday, can I say this here? Her favorite holiday is Halloween. y'all do that here? Y'all do Halloween here? Oh, okay, I didn't know this was a sinners group. Y'all are just fine with the devil out here, huh? We didn't do Halloween when I was growing up. We did the Hallelujah, He is Risen Harvest Festival at our church. Yes, you know what I'm talking about. Every kid wears a Bible-themed costume. You show up in your dad's bathrobe with a big stick, right? And you're like, I'm Moses, or whatever, right? And my mom would never let me do the Bible-themed costume I wanted to do, which was Adam before the fall. just naked, right? We didn't do none of that Halloween stuff in our house. My wife she didn't grow up Christian, so she grew up a completely different lifestyle than we did, man. She did Halloween. She loves scary movies. She loves, like, she loves non-traveling. She's probably watching scary movies right now. She's inviting spirits into our living room, man. She loves that stuff. She believes in ghosts. Anybody believe in ghosts in here?
The Holy Ghost.
The Holy Ghost? I'll do the jokes. I don't know if my wife believes it. Goes, okay, listen, let's pause the show for a second. I have a real question, because my wife was talking to our neighbor the other day about ghosts. My neighbor is convinced that his unit is haunted, right? His apartment unit is haunted. Not the building. He thinks his unit is haunted. Again, there's no punchline coming. This is a genuine question, so I'm asking you here. What do you want to call this place? I don't want to be like in Kentucky. We're doing this, is the tri-state, is that what we're doing? Okay, tri-staters. This is serious. We'll do more jokes. I've been bothered about this for like a week and a half. I said, Josh, what are you talking about? He goes, I don't know, man. I'm in the living room. All my lights will just turn off. And then they'll all turn back on, and they'll all turn off. And I'm thinking, faulty wiring, anything but he's like, it's a ghost, right? I said, Josh, our building was put together in 1997. Right, am I dumb? Ghosts are older than that, right? Right? Guys, there's no punchline, there's no joke. I'm asking. Ghosts are like from they're like, ooh, I'm old, right? Ghosts are older. There's no 90s ghosts, right? Right? No one's telling a ghost story and they're like, he was floating in the hallway wearing Janko jeans, right? There's no 90s ghosts, whatever, man. She loves that stuff. She's all like, she's egging him on. She's like, I bet it is a ghost, right? I'm like, oh, I don't mess with that stuff, man. I'm not brave enough for that stuff. And my wife grew up so not Christian. When we first started dating, she was like at my parents' house or something, and she goes, hey, do you know where I put my hairbrush? And I did what we would all do. So I was like, oh, right? And then there was like a different time we were getting fast food, and I was like, here, my cheeseburger, right? 6 months into dating this girl, she goes, I love those funny songs you make up all the time. And I was like, what are you talking about? She said, you know, the hemorrhage thing and the hamburger thing. And I was like, I don't think we're equally yoked. She grew up different than I did, man. It's a whole. I made sure we got married. We got married when I was 29, so right before I turned 30, I snuck it in. Yeah, because I didn't want to be a 30-year-old unmarried Christian. That's old. Yeah, you can't do that, dude. I grew up super Christian. All my friends got married, you know, right out of homeschool graduation. You know what I'm talking about? All my friends were like, all right, this is it. We're done for life, dude. Like, Christians get married young. If you don't know, Christians get married young. For one reason. You're gonna tell me I'm wrong. It's the tax benefits. And so it's like... That's not it. So, again, the check cleared. So, we got married. So we did get married later than all of our other friends. All of our other friends got married. A lot of our friends have kids. Are there any parents of young kids in here? Anybody got like a kid under the age of 5 in here? Yeah, y'all are young parents? Okay, great. Do your kids have stupid names? Stop! Don't react like that, okay? You know exactly what I'm talking about, all right? Because listen, I'm a millennial. Are you guys Gen Z or millennial? And all these kids, and listen, every millennial's out here, they're like, we want our kid to have a name as unique as they are. I'll meet a new friend. You'll know what I'm talking about. I'll meet a new friend, and I don't know for the first 2 months if that person has pets or people at home. You know what I'm talking about? Straight up, they'll be like, I was in the park last week with Spartacus and Apollo. And I'm like, are those your dogs? And they go, no. Those are our sons. Our dog's name is Jacob. Switch them, dude. So, what are your kids' names?
Aurora and Theo.
What is it?
Aurora and Theo.
Aurora and Theo? You guys see what I'm talking about, right? Those are good names. I like it. Are you a good dad? You try to be. That was the right answer, folks. I don't know if you know. Sometimes I'll do shows. I'll be, are you a good dad? Or I'll get, yeah. No. That energy's not allowed at their Little League games, okay? Try to be. That's the right answer. I'm just doing my best, right? Now, if Aurora comes into your room, Aurora, boy, girl? Girl. I don't know. If Aurora goes, Dad, there's a monster under my bed, which one of you is handling that situation? Probably you? Is he lying? She can do it. Well, I mean, I don't think you're not going to let her. That wasn't what I was saying. She can do it too. Yeah, I'm just asking. I'm telling you, if me and my wife were in public and we got asked that question, my wife would be like, he would handle it. It's the same thing as like if she passed a card under the table so I can be the one who pays. You know what I'm talking about? Yeah, she can do it too. I'll let her. You would go handle that though. See, you're a better dad than I'll be right off the bat. I won't do that stuff. I'll tell you, if my kid comes to my room one day and is like, I'm just not gonna be able to do it. My kid comes to my room and goes, Dad, I saw a ghost. I'm like, bro. We're moving, all right? Don't wake your mom up. She belongs to the ghost, all right? She loves that stuff. Let's get out of here, dude. I can't do that stuff, man. That's crazy. And so Theo's a boy. How old's Theo? 4. Okay, listen, you're going to change Theo's life this year. You're going to buy him a race car bet, right? Oh, only if you want a winner. Do you understand? How many of y'all have race car beds when you're growing up? All right, not a great example. Not a winner. Winner? No, he works for the radio station. It's fine. I was told to do that. He's the one that looks like my brother. Oh, we look like we could be related? Oh, yeah. I don't like that. I don't like it was 100%. I don't like when I get tagged on Facebook and people are like, you look just like this guy. And every time I open it, I'm never like, yes. Every time I open it, I'm like, I'm tired of people being like, you look like Biff. I do look like Biff, dude. Young, but not old Biff, like young, hot Biff. You know what I'm talking about? Hot. I didn't come to the tri-state area to be bullied. You had a race car bed? That's it, dude. You were the coolest kid in your friend group. What, do you have it now? Dude, when I was growing up, if you had a race car bed, that was a status symbol, dude. Here's how you're gonna change Theo's life. Because listen, like we got my nephew a race car bed. He's 5. He comes running to the living room. You know when you see a kid overflow with joy, like their legs lock up? You know what I'm talking about? And they're like, dude, he came in the living room. He's like, Uncle Jaron. He goes, I get to sleep in a race car. It was so precious. I was like, dude, that's awesome. I said, if you grow up to be like me, you're gonna sleep in a real car. It's a Honda Civic, baby. That's so funny, man. So all of our friends got married a couple years ago. They got kids, they're doing their thing. It's a good time to be alive, man. I grew up in a small town. How many of y'all are small town people? Small town people in here? Everybody? Well, I mean, like Ashland, this is like the city, isn't it? This is like we're in the city right now. What's your small town called that you're from around here?
Pittsburgh, West Virginia.
Pittsburgh?
Yeah.
Is that a small town?
Yeah. It's got like 1,000 people in it.
Yeah, I need other people to verify, all right? Well, this is what small town people, like, we compete. I don't know if you guys know this. You know, when you meet somebody who's like, I'm from a small town, you go, oh, really? Y'all do that, right? Dude, I grew up, we had to bring your horse to school day. Did you guys do that? That's the kind of town I grew up in, dude. We had to bring your gun to school day. That's real. We had to bring your gun to school day. When I was in high school. That's crazy, man. I grew up in a small town. There wasn't a whole lot going on. We made but it was on that age. You say it's Pittsburgh?
Yeah.
What's the local news station around? Like, where do you guys get like your weather and stuff from? What's the station? Facebook. Facebook. But like, if Pittsburgh was on the local news, that's small town famous. That's like a big, we made our local news once. KY3 was talking about us in Mount Vernon one time. They were like, in Mount Vernon tonight, people were setting their cars on fire. You know what I'm talking about? Like, small town, that's a big deal. They know about us, right? We made the local news once, because you know those puppy posters that pop up? Like if you lose your dog or whatever? Sad, hope you find your right? These posters popped up around my small hometown, everywhere you went, all over town. Lost Python. Lost Python. Big letters. Right underneath that was a picture of the snake. In case you got confused. You know what I'm talking about? In case you're walking in a Dollar General and you see a 6-foot snake, but then you still gotta be like, it doesn't have a collar. I don't know. Right? And then underneath it, in big red letters, it says, please don't approach. Yeah, which I feel like there's some people in this room who are like, obviously, all right? But I'm looking around, it feels like there's a lot of you in this room who are the reason they had to put that on the poster. You're telling me bald guy up here with the beard up front, Stone Cold Steve Austin, isn't gonna be out in the back of a Ford F-150 skating down the highway. Like, I'm gonna wrangle this thing into the Chamber of Secrets. Oh, I'm so sorry, homeschoolers. The Chamber of Secrets is a, You'll catch the details version, you're good. Did you guys do Harry Potter here? Were you allowed to do that? Oh, y'all were just liberals then. Is that what this is? You were allowed to do Harry Potter? Dude. When I was growing up, that was my mom was like, not in this house. Not under my roof, Jaron. It's witchcraft and it's potions. Not in this house. Witchcraft and its potions, they're mixing things together. Right. And now, if I have a headache, that same woman comes around the corner and she's like, all you need is 2 drops of peppermint and thieves. That's a potion, Christy. Yeah, you can't just call a cauldron a diffuser and make it holy, all right? That's sin, all right? Are there oils people here tonight? Oils people, where are you guys at? Oh, you're right there? I'm sorry. If you're offended, just put some lavender behind your ear. You're all right. My mom got all into the oils, man. My mom got me a diffuser for Christmas. I'm not making fun of you, by the way. Like, I love, you know.
Oh, you're fine.
I knew we were friends. She got me a diffuser for Christmas this past year. She said it's going to change my life. She said, Jared, all you need is just put this in there. It's going to open up your nasal passageways. All this stuff, right? I didn't use it, I'll be honest. Until 2 weeks ago, when I diffused a Red Bull. You want to talk about young living. Okay, I'll tell you what. That last joke is for 4 people in this room, but it's super worth it for them, I'll tell you that. That was a really good joke for them. We're having a good time, man. Do y'all, how many of y'all, you guys go to like the Christian concerts and stuff? How many of y'all frequent Christian concerts, do all that stuff? Okay. Let me just push you at ease. No child sponsorships tonight. Sometimes I'm jealous of musicians because musicians get to write songs. You know what I'm talking about? And then you guys sing them along on the radio, and then you go to the shows, and they they come out here and they're like, oh, better than that. But you know what I'm talking about, right? And everyone's like, oh, great. Like, comedy, I gotta write jokes like in my car or like when I'm just, on
Thursday afternoon at my house. I'm like, oh, that's really funny. And I'll just write something down. But I don't know if it's funny until I come on stage and I say it into this microphone. And then you either laugh, and I go, okay, I'll keep it, just like that. Yeah. Or you don't laugh, and I just think about that for like a week. You know what I'm talking about? So like that's what we're doing right now is I come up here and I travel all over the country doing this. I go everywhere, and so like there's different senses of humor in different places. So I come up here, I've been up here for like 20 minutes now, right? My job is to come up here, figure out what you think is funny, and then try to play more to this room, right? So we're doing a dance right now. So I'm trying stuff, kind of throwing stuff at the wall, and then once I kind of read what you think is funny, we're gonna do more of that. Right? To give you a little peek behind the curtain of how this works. So we're working together tonight, right? So that being said, this is how you know stand-up works. I wrote some new jokes this week. You can see in my notebook down here. I haven't had a chance to try these out with anybody. It feels like we're having a good time. Can I try some new jokes and we find out how they go? Is that all right? All right, some of you seem hesitant. I'm gonna do it, so get on board. So these are new jokes. So we don't know how these are gonna go. We're gonna find out together. Cool. Okay. I'm nervous. Isn't that so exciting? Okay, new jokes. Here we go. Great. Okay, so the government. Wait. Did you feel everyone's butts go, ah? Some of y'all saw how tight my pants are. You're like, we disagree, buddy, right? Like, it's okay, relax. I don't have political jokes. We're not getting into it. I'm just saying, I said one word. I said one word, and everybody in here had a physical reaction. I think that's hilarious. Because, like, we're in this weird spot, and you feel this weird thing right now where everyone has a really hot opinion on everything all the time. You're in conversations, you don't know what landmines you're going to avoid. Because you're going to end up with a 45-minute lecture from your friend, and you're just like, I just wanted to catch up about your kids. And I'm like, yeah, we're going to all right. It's crazy, because like I've told you already, I'm pretty dumb, right? I said that. I'm like a dumb person, right? So my opinions are pretty dumb. They are. And your opinions are pretty dumb, okay? And if you're here and I said that and you're like, not mine, especially yours. I don't understand how we got in this situation. Can we all be honest in this room tonight? Can we just be real for a second? If any one of us in this room was put in charge tomorrow, you're messing it up. Can we be honest? If you were put in charge, you're messing it up. I don't know how, I pay somebody else to do my taxes. I don't know how that stuff works. You put me in charge for a day, you go, Jaron, you seem to have a lot of opinions. You're in charge today. The first thing we want you to do, we want you to make a tax plan that works for all of us. Yes. Here's my tax plan. This is real. This is my tax plan. If your house looks good at nighttime, you owe more. You guys know what I'm talking about? Some of you did not laugh. You must have very well-lit homes. You know when people have like their whole driveway, the landscaped lights, the whole thing's cascading up. My dad acted like if I left my closet light on when I went to school, that was my college money, okay? I thought electricity was $100,000 a month. And some of y'all are just like leaving the whole house lit up at night. If I come to your house and all of your Tupperware lids match, Fork it over one, Placer. A matching Tupperware set? Some of you just found out you're rich, by the way. You didn't know. You didn't know. That's okay. Let me tell you how the rest of us lived. We didn't have Tupperware in our house. We used Country Crock butter tins. That's right. Look at us. The Boars. You didn't know if that was butter or last night's chicken, right? I hope you didn't want Cool Whip. We got 100 containers, 0 Cool Whip. We get a tax break for that, dude. If you drive a car that's hard to pronounce, Audi, you oughta pay more taxes. And I would fix some of this stuff. I could probably fix a lot of stuff. I wouldn't fix everything that you want fixed, maybe, but I could fix some of this stuff, okay? You put me in charge, I do my tax plan. The next thing I do, you are no longer allowed to merge onto the highway going slower than the traffic on the highway. That's right! That's right! That's a felony now. Having a phone call, conversation on speaker. I hope you like prison. But I know that I've got some opinions that maybe not everyone agrees with. And maybe that's an opportunity for us in this room to learn, to grow tonight. That we can grow together in learning to disagree. Because I do my merging law, crowd pleaser. Everyone loves that one. Right? Do the phone thing. The next law I pass, final one of the day. No more pets in public. Did you feel the room just rip in half? Oh yeah, baby. I'm not talking about service animals. That thing is a job, okay? I'm talking about when you're at the grocery store and the lady next to you has a gremlin in her purse. You know what I'm talking about? You know that like 27-year-old chihuahua that she should have put down a couple of years ago? It's missing an eye. Spitting on my lettuce. I felt some pushback on that one. Are there a lot of dog people here tonight? Dog people? Where are you guys at? Cat people? Yeah. Hey, welcome outside. That's awesome. I flew here today, and on my layover in Minneapolis, I'm a bad person. there was a lady in the airport. She had one of those emotional support dogs, tiny, short legs, right? Small, the dog, not her, right? And it's a tiny little dog, right? And it's on a leash, and this girl's late for her flight. Right. So in Minneapolis airport, she's sprinting through the terminal. And the dog is not keeping up, dude. She's running, and the dog is like, Hey, listen, a lot of you are laughing at that because you don't realize how funny it is that emotional support dog is going to need its own emotional support dog. Everywhere she goes, she's like, this is my emotional support dog, Jacob. And this is his emotional support dog, Aurora. My favorite part about that is the number of you that had to look across the room to see if they laughed. You know what I'm talking about? The number of you who had to be like, oh, okay, all right, like, you're like, oh, I don't want to laugh at it. Oh my gosh, man. They laughed. We're having it's comedy. We're joking. We're joking around. We're having a good time, man. That's funny. Oh my gosh. Let's get on the same page for one thing. This is a yes or no question, and I want you to answer like out loud. I don't want you to wait for people around you to answer. I'm going to ask you a yes or no, and then I want you to answer just gut level what you think the answer is. Have people gotten worse?
Yes.
Yeah. You feel that? Yeah. Not us. Right, yeah, none of us. We're great. Everyone out there, kind of bad. Or at least like they quit pretending. They used to pretend a little better, right? They used to people would pretend to be nice. And then now are they just showing us who they've been the whole time? Is that what's happening? I'll tell you how I know things have gotten worse. This is actual data to back this up. I was in the store, 2 months ago, and I saw a fist fight in the dairy aisle. I don't know how it started. I saw how it ended. You know what I'm saying? I saw somebody get punched in the face in the dairy aisle, and I was at Target. I had to grab a manager, and I said, excuse me, there's Walmart behavior happening in that corner over there. Get out of here, dude! I can't, people have gotten worse, man. I'll be honest, I'll tell you this, I've gotten worse, right? Has anybody else felt their fuse shorter than it's ever been before? Right? I go 0 to 100, and I'm not even just talking about anger. I feel like all my emotions do. We watched The Wild Robot, my wife and I. Anybody watch that movie? I was sobbing at the end. What were we doing? I'm not a movie crier, all right? But I'm 0 to 100. I'm just all of a sudden, I'm just emotional, I guess. I get angry faster than I used to. I get short. I'm just all of a sudden, I'm just, right? Way faster than I used to. And here's what I think happened, is there used to be this theory that when you turn 25, your brain was done developing. Y'all heard that before? Your frontal lobe, you turn 25, and then God was like, good luck. You know, that was a theory for a long time. Psychologists were yeah, the brain's done developing. What we know now through a lot more research, a lot more study, is that your brain is never actually done developing. Yeah, it grows, it reaches its full size and its full capacity, but your brain is constantly creating new neural pathways. And the job of the neural pathway is to do as much stuff on autopilot as it can so that you can focus on other stuff, right? You ever been driving somewhere, you're on the phone, you're talking to somebody in the car, you get distracted, without even thinking about it, you pull into the Starbucks drive-thru, and you're like, how did I'm here, right? But what happened was, you've gone to that drive-thru enough times in the past that then when you reach that street corner and you're driving and doing what you usually do, your brain has remembered that path. And so while you were distracted and talking about something else, your neural pathways were like, I got us, and it kept going where it usually goes, right? And so your brain is constantly trying to do as much stuff on autopilot as it can. That's its job. And then we started giving our brains a lot more input than ever before in human history. We started with these, suddenly we have the whole world in our pockets 24/7, right? Do you guys remember when social media, it used to be pictures of puppies? Do you remember that? We took that golden time for granted, dude. You'd open it and you'd see a cat riding a robot vacuum. Oh my gosh. Amazing. Now it's a machine. It's an AI, and it learned what makes you angry. Not what makes us angry. It learned you as an individual, and it gives you more of that. So now you'll open any social media, TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, you'll open any social media, and it's like, hey, you having a good day? You're like, yeah, so far pretty good. What a great Saturday. And it's like, awesome. Listen, that's over. And then it just gives you all the stuff that's wrong with the world. And as an added bonus, it tells you whose fault it is. Right? Yeah. And they gave us this amazing, wonderful, stress-reducing feature called the comment section. Oh my gosh. Y'all ever see something you hate on the internet and you're like, I hate that. Let me soothe my anxiety by checking out these comments, right? And then you open the comments, you're like, I hate this more, right? And what happens is your brain and your body are traveling the path of rage, of anger, and your brain remembers that path, right? And so, or you'll go to lunch with a friend. You sat down with a friend you haven't seen in a while, and you sit down, you haven't even got the menus yet, and they're like, hey, did you see that thing that we're supposed to be mad at today? And you're like, I just wanted to catch up about all the stuff going on in your life. And you're like, here's what's going on in my life. They're coming after us. And you're like, what are you talking about? Like, and then you have this whole conversation about all the stuff that's wrong with the world and everyone whose fault it is. And your brain remembers that path. Some of y'all use social media as a comparison tool. You'll log on to Facebook or Instagram and you'll see how other people are spending their money. You'll see how early they're retiring. You'll see what vacations they're going on. You'll see how cute their kids are compared to your uggos. You know what I'm talking about? Like, but then your brain is traveling that path of comparison, right? And your brain remembers how to do that. Some of y'all, you leave a news channel on your TV 24/7. Without even thinking about it, you're making breakfast, you're drinking coffee, you're doing whatever it is in the living room, just hanging out, and in the background, your brain is taking in all the information about all the stuff that's wrong with the world and everyone whose fault it is. And then you walk out your front door, and your brain has been wired and conditioned like a computer. Your brain has been trained to look for all the stuff that's wrong or out of place in this world. Your brain is constantly keeping you anxious and angry and ready to fight and ready to defend because it knows all the stuff that's wrong with the world. And when I realized that had happened to me, when I realized that my brain had been wired and trained to look for and identify all the stuff that's wrong or out of place, I realized that I have the ability, you have the ability to literally rewire and retrain your brain to, instead of looking for what's wrong or out of place first, you can train your brain to look for moments of hope, opportunities to serve and love people around you, movements of God happening. And can I tell you what happens? From the bottom of my heart, promise you what happens when you start looking for those things. This is going to sound crazy. You find more of them. Amen. You find more of them. If you train your brain to look for moments of joy, you find more joy. If you train your brain to look for movements of God, you will see Him moving more. And I want to be real clear that me looking for God to move doesn't magically make God move. God is already moving. There is already an abundance of joy around you. There are already opportunities to serve and love people around you. But because you've let your brain and your body and your soul be trained to look for other junk first, now you are missing out on it. And right now, I know we're sitting here in this church and you're like, this guy used to be a youth pastor? Yeah, chill. I'm saying, I did. But I'm so passionate about this because this is backed up by real psychology. This is backed up by real science. They've done a lot of research on this, a lot of studies on this, that you can train your brain and rewire the electrical currents in your brain. But this is also backed up by thousands of years of wisdom. The Bible calls this being transformed by the renewing of your mind, or setting your sights on the things of heaven. This is what following Jesus is aligning our body and our brain and our spirit in the ways of following Him. And for so many people, you've allowed your soul and your brain to be trained more in the way of cultural warfare rather than spiritual warfare. And you are angry and bitter and sad. And you feel stuck, and I'm telling you, you can literally rewire and retrain your brain to look for the good things that are happening around you. I've been trying to train my brain to look for fun. I want to laugh every day until my abs hurt. And you're like, what abs? Stop. I'm saying, don't do that. I'm saying, I've been trying to train my brain to look for fun. There is fun everywhere. The Starbucks by my house has 2 entrances to get inside, one on each side of the building. I put up 2 signs that said, please use other door. Then you just wait. Right? People aren't mad when they see the first one. They go, oh, okay. They walk around the whole building. When they see that second one, that's free joy. Do you understand? That's a gift to you. Some of y'all are overcomplicating joy. It's been a while since you've laughed, since you really let go and had some fun. Can I give you a secret? You can write this down, you can remember this, whatever it is. If you're struggling to find joy in your life, here's a secret to finding more fun this year. This is 100%, this is serious. This is not a joke. Secret to finding more joy. Lower the bar. Lower the bar, dude. Some of you are waiting for the right conditions to let yourself have some fun. When we finally retire, when I get this better job, when I get married, when we get rid of these kids, they finally move out, then we'll have more time for joy, right? You're missing out on there's an incredible amount of joy that exists around you right now. When you leave here tonight, if you're having a bad day, you need a jolt of joy, call someone on your phone. Open your contacts, play roulette, click, and just call them. And as soon as they answer, say, hey, I'm busy, can I call you back? That's free! They're like, you called me, right? And you go, I gotta go, and you hang up on them. That's free to you. Go to a fast food place. What do y'all got in this town? Y'all got all the good stuff here? No. Do you guys have, you do have a Chick-fil-A though. Okay. I'm obviously a big fan of Chick-fil-A. I don't know if you guys have seen the video. The joke of that video, by the way, is it's like a funny video we made where it's like, oh, isn't it so funny that they'll mow your yard, right? Or like, oh, a Chick-fil-A employee will save you from a burning car. Isn't that hilarious, right? Have you seen the real life videos of Chick-fil-A employees doing heroic stuff? Did you guys see the video a couple years ago where a lady she was getting her car stolen and a Chick-fil-A employee stopped that? Did you guys see that? This guy jumps in this lady's car. Here comes the Chick-fil-A employee. Hooks him over the shoulder onto the ground, right? And so people will send that stuff to me and they'll be like, Jaron, what do you think about that, huh? I said, I'll tell you what I think about that. I think that was the only kid working that day that wasn't homeschooled. You know what I'm talking about? You know what I'm saying, right? As soon as I saw that hook, I was like, that's a public school takedown. He has seen some stuff, right? He might have done time at Waffle House. That kid was ready to brawl, dude. I go to Chick-fil-A all the time. First of all, if you've not been to a Chick-fil-A recently, in the last couple years, they've made upgrades to all their buildings. They have an 18-lane highway outside now. Is that what it is? You pull up, and like, going down the lane 15, and an 11-year-old kid runs out your food, right? He didn't even order it yet. He's like, here you go. I didn't even order it. He's like, God told me. And you're like, what? I get the same thing every time. I roll up to the drive-thru, I get a spicy chicken sandwich and waffle fries. Right? It's $11.53. I know what I'm doing. Have you ever got to the window at any fast food place? It doesn't have to be a Chick-fil-A. You ever got to the window and the person at the window's too excited to see you? You know that moment when you pull up and they're like, they go, it's your lucky day. You're not going to believe this. The car in front of you decided to bless you and paid for your meal. Has that ever happened to anybody? Yeah. That's a wonderful 3 seconds of joy, right? You can bask in that joy for 3 whole seconds, right? Just, right? Because on the 4th second, they hit you with a follow-up question. You find out where you're at with God. Because they go, do you want to bless the person behind you? And I was feeling good that day, you know? I was like, you know what? Of course, yes. Of course I will do that. It was great. Their total was $47. I gotta call Dave Ramsey. I don't know if I can do that. That's not better than I deserve. And you can't, especially at Chick-fil-A, you can't not pay it. They'll judge you for that. Yeah, you can't. Especially some of y'all the donors, right, for this radio station. Y'all got those Walk FM stickers on your car. You can't not pay it. I'll tell you right, you're an ambassador at that point, right? Because if the Chick-fil-A employee's like, you want to bless the person behind you? And you're like, no. And you drive off. And they're like, wow, Walk FM people, huh? Right, that's why I have a K-Love sticker on my car. And so, sorry, I can't pay the person behind me. It's always the K-Love pledge drive, so I gotta... Those are the goods. That's the good jokes. I feel like some of you are judging me. I paid the $47, okay? I sowed that seed. Thank you. Thank you. Yeah, I'm a hero. Thank you. Thank you. Yeah, I paid for their food. And then I also took their food. Do you understand? Like, if I paid for it, that belongs to me. That's so dumb. Well, go next time you go through the Chick-fil-A drive-thru here in town, or like you guys got Wendy's or McDonald's or whatever. Next time you go through a drive-thru, get a large drink cup. All right, not a drink, a drink cup, and then tape that cup to the roof of your car, and then just drive. Right? People lose their minds, dude. You'll be at a red light, right? Sorry, Pinsboro. You'll be at a stop sign, right? And someone's leaning out of the car next to you. Hey! Your drink's on the rails, right? If you're a bad person, leave a dog leash hanging out the trunk. You know what I'm saying? Don't put a dog on the other end. Just the leash. That's free. What I promise is that if you'll go out of your way to find some fun, I promise you, genuinely, from the bottom of my heart, you will train your brain to start looking for fun without you even thinking about it. You know what I'm talking about? You'll be having a good time, and you'll be like, having a good time. You know, like, you will train your brain to be looking at them. I was in the store the other night, there's a lady who's walking out the front of the grocery store. She's got her car keys above her head. You know what I'm talking about? I'm in my car, I see her, and my training took over. And I slammed my seat back. Honk! We did that for half an hour. That's free. There's a whole row of people back here. Are y'all like best friends back here? Is that what's happening? Yeah, dude. I love it because ladies laugh hard enough, they start smacking people near them. You know what I'm talking about? I love it, dude. I love watching it. Because you watch the show this way. I get to watch this way. You know what I'm talking about? Oh, man. There's a couple people in this room who have not laughed once this whole night. I've thought about it the whole time. I did a women's event a couple months ago. And it was like 3,000 women. It was just like that. Because what I love about, like, especially when women get around their best friend, is that their best friend's laugh will make them laugh harder than any joke I could ever tell, right? And so it's this room full of women, 3,000 women. I did an hour, I told 4 jokes, right? I'm serious, I went out, I told a joke, and they ricocheted off each other. And I stood waiting for it to die down. You know, I crushed. It was one of those shows where I walked off stage and I was like, I'm so good at this. You know what I'm saying? It was one of those shows where I was like, oh, I felt great. Like I was like, and then this woman comes up to me after the show and she says, hey, I had a great time tonight. And this is what I love. This is my favorite thing to do. I love getting to do this. This is my job. That's really dumb to me that I'm at work right now. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm really blessed that this is what I get to do. And I love getting to do it because I'm a Jesus follower. And if you're here tonight and you're not a Jesus follower, absolutely know that we're pals, we're friends. I believe there's a God who loves you and cares for you. This is my favorite thing to do. And to be at that women's event where it's all Christian girls and all this stuff, and this woman comes up to me afterward and she says, hey, I wanted to come thank you for your ministry of making us all laugh. That was really fun. We had a great time. But in the middle of your show, I looked over and there's one woman in the back row who wasn't laughing. And she just looked like she was having a really rough day. I started watching her. She didn't laugh a single time. And so I started to pray for her from across the room. And then I felt God tell me that I needed to go pray with her. And so I walked across the room and I prayed with that woman in the back row. And so I wanted to come let you know, thank you for your ministry of helping us let go and laugh and have a good time, but also thank you for giving me the opportunity to pray for that woman. And I said, that was really sweet that you did that. Thank you so much for telling me that. And then 10 minutes later, my wife comes up to me and says, some lady just prayed for me. What's a lie? This is how we pay the bills, baby. Come on. I'll be honest, that is not even a joke. That's a real thing that happened. Oh my gosh, man. I love my wife. She thinks I'm funny, I promise. She's just seen this show. Like, I do the same jokes, you know? And so I told her, I was like, hey, you want to come to this show? And she goes, I've seen it. All right. She always wants to go if it's like to a place like Orlando. Yeah, but she didn't want to come to the tri-state area, I guess. I know. I'm going to tell her, listen, you were missing out on a whole lot, all right? That's right. I am here tomorrow. Is there anything I should do other than like swim in the river? What do you guys do here? I love asking that because I grew up in Kansas City. We have a river. You do not want to swim in that river, all right? And that's true for every river town, all right? And so I love being like, should I swim in that thing? And all you're like, no. Except for the two people who haven't laughed this whole night, they were both like. I was like, hey. K-Love listeners. I've had fun tonight, man. I'm sorry that half my show is me laughing at my own jokes. I think, I promise if you're driving home tonight, you get on your tractor or however you got here. You have a couple riding a tractor like a motorcycle. And she's in the back and they're just putting home, you know. I promise, if you're driving home tonight and you're like, I just didn't think he was that funny. I thought he was. I'm just laughing at my own stuff. I love, this is my favorite thing to do in the whole world. If you want to support what I'm doing, you can follow me on social media when you guys get that. I'm joking, you guys are on Facebook, right? And I know MySpace if you're still there. Dumb, guys, come on. I'm done doing those jokes. We're done. But, you know. Y'all are my home team. Here's how comedy shows work. I come up here and I find like little pockets of people and I'm like, all right, they're rocking with me. We're good. I've had a genuinely great time. I love making people laugh. I love that I get to do this. This is my favorite thing in the whole world. If you do want to support what I'm doing, you can follow me on social media and you can check that stuff out. I also have 2 Amazon Prime specials. So if you've got Amazon, you can go watch. One of them's like an old Sam special from like almost 10 years ago. I don't think I was very good back then, but if you want to watch me be worse at this, you can go watch it. I hope that 10 years from now, I watch what I'm doing now. You know what I'm saying? Like, I hope that I continue to progress. But that's one of my old specials. But I did do a special long ago, back when I was single. One of the reasons I'm so grateful to be married is that I wasn't a very good single person. I wasn't good at dating. I was really good at being a girl's best friend. I was friend zoned a lot. You know what I'm talking about? But I wasn't, like, and parents loved me. I could get a girl's parents to be like, you should marry that guy. And she was like, ew, no. That was my life, dude. So I wasn't very good at dating, is what I'm saying. But I did do this thing back when I was single. I thought it'd be really funny if I asked a girl I had never met to do my date to a comedy show. And so I slid in this girl's DMs on Instagram. I said, hey, I'm going to a comedy show. Would you want to go? And she said yes for some reason. And then when she got there with a quick video, here's what happened. This is not a normal comedy show. In about 15 minutes, my date is going to arrive outside. And we are going to get to know Reagan. The reason I say we is because I have also never met Reagan. When I say that she could go, no. Or I can pick my wife tonight. Got the text. Reagan, dude, how are you? I'm Jaron. Jaron, two of us. Perfect. Jaron Myers. As I'm on a date right now. Reagan, would you like to join me for dinner? On stage. Pretty sure we're gonna kiss tonight. So I parked over here. So I guess this is goodbye. So that's the blind date. That's a real show we did. We ate dinner in front of the audience. I had a waiter who brought us food. At one point, I go to the bathroom and just leave her on stage by herself. And she had no idea this was going to happen. And so we even had somebody waiting in the lobby with flowers just in case she didn't want to do it. You know, like we weren't trying to. But she was a champion. She sat down. She stole the show. So you can watch that full special on Amazon. Or it's $2.99 to rent it on Amazon. Or you can scan this QR code and you can watch it for free. I'll send it to you for free. That's everyone's favorite four-letter word. But if you scan that QR code, I'll send it to you for free. You can watch the whole day. It's my favorite project I've ever done. It was very risky. It was. Is anybody a fan of The Office in here? Anybody watch The Office? All right, I'll be real with you. It is Scott's Tots level awkward. All right, it's one of those things where you're watching two people figure out if they got chemistry, and I asked the audience for advice, and it was the most pure project I've ever done. And so I would love for you to watch it. I will ruin the ending for you. I'll tell you that I did get the kiss at the end. Yes. Thank you. And then I got that same girl to kiss me again at our wedding. And so, yeah. Isn't that wild? That is straight up, that's my wife. That's crazy. So you can watch me meet my wife for the first time on camera. So that's wild. I would love it if you watch that. It would mean a lot to me. Also, I'll be out here somewhere. I don't know if you guys came into the same area that I came into. There's not a lot of room out there, but I'll be around somewhere. That sounds cryptic. I'll be here. Okay, but I am out there. I love getting to do this. I'm going to show you the stuff I've got with me. These are shirts that I've got. There is zero pressure. Please do not feel like I'm trying to salesman you. I hate that. I really don't want you to feel like this is a sales pitch or anything like that, okay? Relax. This is just how my wife and I buy groceries. And, I'm joking, but I do have some shirts out there. If you do what, there's zero pressure, but if you do want to support what I'm doing and just help me do more of it, I got some shirts out there. These shirts, I've been wearing a different version of it, but these say joy is free. And they got a little NASCAR on it, right? And that has a cup on the roof. Just a reminder that joy is free and available to you. And then, is anybody involved in the worship team at their church? Any worship team people in here? Nice. Oh, yeah, that whole group back there, the animated people. I was a worship leader for a long time before I did this. I mean, and I don't know how it is at your guys' church. Y'all ever show up late to church, like 27 minutes in, and they're still on the first song? You know what I'm talking about? Where they're like, let's sing it again. And you're like, okay. Like, one more time. And you're like, yeah. Like, let's do it again. You're like, let's wrap it up. You know? Let's do another song, right? So I have shirts to make fun of. I would love for people to buy a bunch of these and then show up to your church all and sit in the front row. Because they say Sunday set list. And it says verse, chorus, bridge, 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 all the way down. That way you can sit in the front row and be like, help you keep count, you know what I'm saying? Does anybody want this one? Who wants this shirt? Oh yeah, hold on. Okay, let me see the size of this. Hold on. Before I throw it to you. It is $30. That's really funny. I'm glad it was you. Sometimes it's a kid in the front row, and then I gotta be like, no, all right? That's funny. Sorry. Some of these jokes really are for me. I really am having a good time. And then there's one more thing. I'm like a few minutes over. We got 2 minutes left. Chill. Everybody relax. Has anybody got a best friend in here? Raise your hand if you got a best friend. Anybody got a best friend? Great. That's my favorite question to ask groups of people because I love watching people go. Why didn't you raise your hand? My favorite thing. I have a best friend. My best friend's name is Tim. And we were best friends since college. We met on the first day of college in our psychology class, where I walked into the psychology class, there were 2 cute girls in the back row, so I sat next to them. And then Tim walked into his psychology class, and there were 2 cute girls in the back row, so he sat next to them. And then we were like, forget those girls, you're cool. And so we became friends on day one. And when I first started touring, when I first started doing this, I traveled in a Ford Econoline van. I bought a big green beast. And I would drive out to Colorado and I would do a show and get paid in chicken wings. You know what I'm talking about? This is real. Like I would do a show at a bar and they wouldn't even turn the football game off. You know what I'm saying? Like there would be like a rerun of a game above me and I'd be like, somebody do a podcast, right? And so like and so Tim would go with me on some of these trips. We were doing these long road trips. Well, one road trip, you know when you get to that place with your best friend where you don't gotta talk anymore? You guys can just kind of sit in peace together, just silently be. Right? We're driving 4 hours, neither of us have said a word. Out of nowhere, we're 21. Tim goes, I think I'd let you mace me. So is that what you've been thinking about over there, buddy? Like, what are you talking about? And he goes, I see people like on TV being like, I don't think it hurts that bad. Like, I'm pretty sure it hurts that bad, but so we're joking around about he's like, I don't trust anybody else to do it. I would trust you. I would let you mace me. And I was like, all right, whatever. We had this whole hour conversation about it, right? Joking about it. 6 months go by. We've long forgotten this. Now it's the beginning of the school year. We're having a small group over at our house. There's some girls from our church that have just joined. And so now we're meeting them for the first time. So we did the thing where you clean your apartment. Later, guys. Yeah. No, it's cool, dude. It's cool. No, I get it. You guys work for the radio station? You guys were like, it's 8:15. Yeah, we gotta be on air at 7 a.m. All right, I'm joking. So anyway, months later, we did that thing where you clean your apartment, and then when your friends show up, you go, oh, sorry about the mess. You ever done that? You know, we have people coming over, and you clean everything, and then you leave one little thing out, so you're like, oh my gosh, that's so embarrassing, right? So we did that. So these girls coming over, and we got a couple new people at our church who are coming over. One of the girls in the living room, she's talking about how she didn't feel safe on campus. So she went to Walmart, and she bought one of those keychain mace. I'm in the kitchen, Tim's in the living room. You ever had a moment with your friend where you both hear a word and across the room just... And so we go out to the parking lot, right? I'm standing 4 feet away, he's right here in front of me, and our friends are surrounding us, right? Now, I'm thinking, we're done, we're 21. I'm thinking, like, they sell this at Walmart. There's no way this hurts that bad, right? Like, I mean, I knew it was gonna hurt. I was like, it's gonna hurt, but it's not gonna hurt that bad, right? Because we were dumb, right? And so, all our friends are circled around, they're like, this is gonna be all over again. I get him clean in both eyes. And it was, our friends shifted so fast. They went from, I gotta go. Yeah. No, it's 6:30. It's getting late. I gotta get out of here. It was bad. His eyes swelled shut almost immediately. His head starts to swell up. We didn't know that was gonna happen, right? So now we're panicking. We're Googling. We didn't have ChatGPT back then, so we're like, what do we do, right? We're spooning water. We grabbed the milk. We do the milk into the eyes as we were supposed to do, right? We're spooning handfuls of milk into the eyes. The girl whose mace it was, this is the first time we've met this girl. We have no idea who she is. She's sitting on my kitchen floor sobbing, right? She feels terrible. I'm grabbing, I'm like, I did this. This is not you. I did this, right? So she's there till 1 a.m. helping us put milk in his eyes. She feels terrible. He obviously feels awful, right? It's a little funny. But like, I can't say that, right? And so she texted him the next day and she was like, hey, how's your face? You good? And then she texted him the next day. And then she texted him the next day. Right, so they've been married for 7 years now, right? Yes. So if you're here, and you're single and struggling in the dating scene, I will mace you in this parking lot tonight. That's right. They call me the match macer, baby. That's dumb. So my best friend and I, we have a podcast called Things I Learned Last Night. I know what you're thinking. You see 2 white guys with microphones and you're like, oh no. We're not one of those podcasts, I promise. It's not, anyway. It's not like we're sitting here being like, what do you think about women? It's not one of those podcasts, I promise. Every week, Tim teaches me something interesting from the internet. So we did an episode about the Great Emu War. Y'all ever heard of that? If you don't know what that is, there's an infestation of emus in Australia, and it was a big enough infestation that the Australian government had to deploy the military to try to kill these emus. And then the emus outsmarted the military. And so we learned like different history like that, useless information, a bunch of different stuff, and we joke around the whole way. So if you like learning useless information and laughing and just, it's educational, it's fun, it's a clean podcast, so you're not worried about listening in front of your kids or whatever. That's our show. It would mean a lot to us. He and his wife are due with their first baby in May. So we would love if you would listen to this podcast, so that he gets, I don't know where I was going with that sentence, so he can keep the baby. I think they said, the hospital said if you guys don't listen, they just take it. So you guys better listen to a podcast. I don't know where I was going with that sentence. But I appreciate you coming out tonight. Here's what I love. I know that I talked about the internet earlier and how we've trained our brains and all this stuff. I think it's really important for us to come together in person and laugh and have a good time and like not be distracted by all the stuff that's on the internet and be bombarded with it. We literally just get to come in this room and let go and laugh. And I genuinely, if you were here tonight and you're not a Jesus follower, please leave here remembering 2 things. All of you need to remember this actually, but One, I believe there's a God who cares for you and loves you and sees you and wants to spend time with you. And 2, I fully believe that if your brain and your body feel like you've been trained into a rut where you're grumpy, you're angry, you're short-tempered, you're jealous, you're comparing yourself to other people, you have the ability to rewire and retrain your brain to a path of joy and a path of life. And I genuinely pray that this is the most joyful year of your life. And you don't have to, I know that you don't, I know I'm giving you a bunch of ideas, like go put a couple on the roof, or like go put signs up at Starbucks. You don't gotta be a menace to society. I understand that. You don't have to start that far from, you can start right where you live. My neighbor has an Alexa on his back porch, right? I hear him out there on the back porch all the time. He's like, Alexa, play this podcast. Alexa, set my heat to whatever, right? I go out there every night. And I lean over our fence and I go, Alexa, turn Josh's lights off. Turn them back on. Turn them off. All right? He thinks his apartment is haunted. You understand? I'm Jaron Myers. Thank you for hanging out here. Thank you. Keep clapping.